Have you ever stood at a point in your life where you genuinely didn't know which way to go? Not because you were weak, not because you were confused, but because something inside you knew that whatever you chose next, it was going to change everything. That feeling, that moment where everything goes quiet and you're standing between who you were and who you're becoming. That's not a breakdown, that's a crossroads. And there is a goddess who has been standing there, waiting for you for thousands of years. So who is Hecate? If I'm honest, she gets a bad reputation. Most people hear the words goddess of witchcraft or goddess of the night, and they think, okay, darkness, danger, and something to be afraid of. But here's what they don't tell you. Hecate was one of the oldest goddesses in all of Greek mythology. And she was one of the very few deities that even Zeus, the one who thought he controlled everything, even Zeus respected her power and left it alone. She was the goddess of the crossroads, of thresholds, of the in-between places. She carried twin torches, not to threaten, but to light the way when the path was dark and no one else could see. And she had 3 forms: maiden, mother, and crone, all at once, all equally powerful. She wasn't one thing, she was everything, all at the same time. Now, I want you to hold on to that. So here's the rewrite, because this is what this series is about. We take the story we've been told and we ask, what if they got it wrong? What if Hecate wasn't dark and terrifying? What if she was simply the only goddess brave enough to stand in the uncomfortable places, the places where nothing is certain, where the old life is ending and the new one hasn't started yet? She didn't avoid the threshold. She lived there by choice. And the confusing part is that we've been taught to fear those in between places too. That strange stretch of time where you don't quite recognize yourself anymore, where the person you used to be doesn't quite fit, and the person you're becoming hasn't fully arrived. But what if? What if that's not something to escape from? What if that crossroads is exactly where your power lies? Now, I want to talk to you directly for a moment, because I think a lot of women watching this are standing at a crossroads right now. And you might not even be or even have named it yet. Maybe you've hit your 40s. Or you're moving through them and something has shifted. Something different. The things that used to drive you don't quite do it anymore. The life you built, the career, the roles, the identity you wore. It starts to feel like it belongs to someone else. And on top of all that, your body is doing its own thing entirely. Your hormones are, as I like to say, all over the shop. You're tired in a way that sleep doesn't fix. Your emotions show up uninvited. And some days you genuinely wonder, who am I now? I really want you to hear this, okay? That is not a crisis. That is a crossroads. And Hecate has been waiting there for you. Because here's what the ancients understood that we've completely forgotten. The crone wasn't the end. She was the most powerful form. The one who had lived through all three stages, who has survived the maiden's hope, the mother's sacrifice, the long middle of becoming, and arrived at something else entirely. Something clear, something knowing. In many traditions, women weren't considered truly wise until after midlife. Not because they were slow, but because real wisdom can only be earned. It cannot be rushed. So, I want to ask you something. And I want you to actually sit with it for a second. What have you been calling a breakdown? That might actually be a breakthrough. What if the exhaustion is your body asking for a different kind of life? Not a smaller one, but a truer one. Hecate's torches weren't there to burn things down. They were there so she could see what was actually in the dark. So she could walk through it without flinching. If any of this is landing for you, please subscribe, because every episode of Gods Rewritten is about exactly this. Taking the stories we've been told about powerful women and asking, what if they got it wrong? So what does Hecate actually offer us? If I'm honest, I think she offers three things, and not by coincidence. She had three forms. The first permission is not no. Hecate stood at the crossroads. She didn't always point one way. Sometimes she simply held the light so you could see clearly enough to choose for yourself. Midlife gives you the same invitation. You don't have to have it figured out. You don't need enough light for the next step. The second is trust in your own light and sight. Hecate was associated with the moon, and the moon doesn't always shine full. Sometimes it's silver, but it's always there, always moving. Your clarity doesn't have to be building to be real, or even blinding for that matter. What I also want to say is the knowing you feel in your body right now, and that quiet inner voice that says something has to change. That's real. That's worth listening to. And the third, and this is the one I love most, is permission to be more than one thing. Hecate wasn't just the maiden. She wasn't just the crone. She was all three, all at once. No big deal. You are allowed to be the woman who is tired and rebuilding, the one who is healing and dreaming, the one who has no idea what's coming and is quietly, stubbornly, and hopeful. You don't have to resolve your contradictions. You just have to carry your torch. Hecate was never the goddess of darkness. She was the goddess of the threshold, of the courage it takes to stand in the uncertain, uncomfortable, in between, and choose to keep going anyway. And if you are standing at your own crossroads right now, whether it's your health, your identity, your purpose, the life you thought you'd have, I want you to know this. You're not lost. You're not broken. You're not behind. You are standing exactly where the goddess stands. And that means you already have everything you need to take to the next step. Until next time, take care and stay blessed.